right, so the first step, we need to wet the concrete that we're going to be plastering over. That helps make a nice bond between the new coat and what's there already. So just the light misting. And what you can do here, especially on a day like today where it's really windy and sunny, you kind of hit it. You can even let it sit for a second, then you kind of just hit it again. The concrete will absorb the water, and the more times you do that, the more open time you have, the more time you'll have for the concrete to be wet, so you don't have to reapply water in the middle of your plastering. So I'm going to hit the top first. If anything falls down, I don't want it to fall down over my scratch coat. You got to wet your tools. I'm using a, I don't even know what you call this. This is called a, I don't know, we'll call it a plastering plate. This is a pool trowel, and this is, I don't know, like another trowel. But you want them all to be wet before you get started, so the plaster doesn't stick to the plates. So I'm gonna get started just by putting some up on here. I'm gonna use my small trowel just to knock it on to the top. Whoops. Getting started with the plastering. I like to get a nice big substantial amount on the plate here. Use it to catch any excess plaster that comes down and smush it and go up. I'm just going to kind of work my way through this kind of quick and come back and touch it up. Now what I'm also doing here, the areas that have more of a depression, more plaster is going in. I'm trying to even out those concave areas as I go. Just even this out a little bit, kind of blend it in a little. Now it's a little bit tougher than it should be, because I'm using concrete sand, which has bigger aggregate in it than plaster sand. Best thing here would be to use plaster sand. You can see like these little holes, little pieces of these pebbles coming out. That is making my life a little bit more difficult, and it's making it a little bit rougher than it needs to be. Kind of patching up little areas, taking stuff from the bottom, working it up. Okay, moving on. Let's do a little more water. I'm a one-man show here, so I got to move kind of fast. Be nice if I had someone mixing for me. I could just keep moving and moving and not have to break in between batches. And then I have like a seam that I have to kind of cover up and mask. It's way more efficient with like at least 2 people doing this. Alright, so I've just plastered a little area about this big, and I want to come back now. Since it's so windy, this mortar is setting really quickly. So, come back with a sponge squeezed out, a grout sponge.